Hello, everyone. I'm Kelly Longtin from Kelly Longtin Law, and today I want to discuss with you about how long you should keep important documents for. This question gets asked a lot, so I figured we'd just create a video so we can talk about it. You know, our whole society is dominated by paperwork, and this question of how long to hold on to important documents has been baffling for most people. We especially worry about documents of a financial and or personal nature identifying them. People who worry about losing something important sometimes hoard absolutely everything, and others who worry about things like identity theft are too quick to shred their documents. Now, most of us, however, lie somewhere in between these two extremes, simply and utterly confused about what to keep and for how long to keep it for. You do need to have a certain documents longer than others for financial and estate planning purposes. These documents should be organized and accessible. Some documents should be kept for forever, while others for shorter periods of time. Yet many documents aren't actually important enough to save. While it might seem like a good idea to hang on to everything, the resulting clutter might make it difficult to locate important papers amid all of those unimportant ones. And even with digital documents, you can still run out of space. So let me help you unravel this confusion by offering some guidelines on which documents should be kept and for how long you need to keep them for. Now, the following documents you need to keep for like 3 months or less: ATM receipts, credit card receipts, receipts for small or everyday purchases, and your utility bills. Unless you have a specific issue, such as company reimbursement practices or business deductions on your income tax return. After 1 to 3 months, these receipts become inconsequential and just add to the clutter in your home or office. Your bank statements will reflect ATM withdrawals, and your bank and credit card statements and/or canceled checks can be proof of payment for utilities and other regular purchases that you have. Now let's talk about the documents that you should keep for just about a year. And this has to do with your tax returns too. So you want to keep your monthly mortgage statements. Your annual tax statements will eventually make these redundant. You want to keep your paycheck stubs. Once you've reconciled these stubs with your annual W-2, you'll no longer need them. And then your checkbook ledger, if you use it. Many people today keep ledgers online using an accounting software. But if you do the old-fashioned handwritten check ledger, you won't need to keep that any longer than a year. Insurance statements and records. Once you receive a current policy renewal or statement, the old ones become obsolete. Now, the investment account statements in general, you want to store these for at least a year. Include your monthly statements as well as any trade confirmations that you have. You also want to keep any undisputed medical bills and receipts. Keep those documents if you're haggling with insurance or you have a personal injury case in the works, then you want to keep that as evidence. Otherwise, you can get rid of them after a year. Now, the following documents you want to keep for at least 7 years. Your W-2 and 1099 forms. These documents prove your income for loans and possible tax audits. All tax-related receipts. These documents justify your tax deduction if the IRS wants proof of them. Canceled checks for tax, business, mortgage, and home improvement purposes. Some people like to save all of their canceled checks, but if you want to minimize, go through these checks once a year and shred any that are irrelevant while keeping those that relate to your tax, business, mortgage, or home improvements. Now, your bank statements. You want to keep them for at least a year, either in printed form or saved in electronic form. They can be useful when identifying potential fraud, identifying theft, or other anomalies with your account. As with financial or legal documents that have personally identifiable information, you always want to shred those paper copies before discarding. Now, disability records and unemployment income stubs, it's a good idea to keep paperwork related to income that you receive directly from the government. Then there's some documents that you want to keep forever. Income tax returns. Some suggest that your returns can be shredded after 7 years, along with your tax preparation documents, but we recommend holding on to those holding on to the returns themselves. Any personable identification documents. These include birth certificates, social security cards, current and outdated passports. Legal documents. These include marriage and divorce certificates and lawsuits and settlements. You want to keep all receipts and documents related to your home or any real estate holdings. That includes mortgage documents, titles and deeds, home improvement receipts, and records related to buying and or selling the property, including commissions and fees. You want to keep these documents for as long as you own the property, plus a minimum of 6 years after selling it. Now, vehicle titles and related loan documentation, hold those for at least 3 years from the date the transaction is finalized. Many people keep them for 10 years or longer, however, because they can be helpful even long after the transaction is done if there are any questions. You want to hold on to the receipts for all major purchases. Keep these receipts for warranty purposes and to show value for possible insurance claims, and you can shred them when you sell. Your annual investment and retirement account statements. Your quarterly statement should be held until the annual statement arrives. At that point, cross-check the quarterly statements with the annual ones. If everything matches, you can shred the quarter statements. Keep the annual records until the account is closed. Now, education records. Those include high school and college transcripts, as well as any diplomas or degrees that you have. And you want to hold on to all relevant financial planning records. These documents include wills, living wills, trust documents, pension plan documents, power of attorneys, and medical and burial information. Now let's talk about electronic versus physical storage. In today's digital age, many people choose to save important documents electronically by scanning them and saving them to a hard drive or into a cloud-based storage service like Dropbox or Google Drive or iCloud. This strategy is an excellent one for saving space and reducing clutter. If you choose to do so, we recommend backing up these documents in several places with at least one backup off-site. For example, if you use a secure cloud-based storage, make sure you have a backup on a second service or use a hard drive stored in a safety deposit box. However, you should always keep a physical copy of the following items, preferably stored securely in a safe deposit box. Your birth certificate, social security cards, passports, and other legal identifications, marriage license, property deeds, and any related mortgage documents, your vehicle titles and any related loans that you may have with those, your pension plan documents, your insurance policies, and financial planning documents. Now, there may come a day when we can go 100% paper-free, but we're just not there quite yet. Now, let's talk about some final tips about organization. When figuring out which documents to keep and which to shred, as well as how long to keep documents, a good organizational system will keep things from devolving into chaos and clutter. The system can be as simple as a filing system with folders labeled to expiration date, 3 months, 1 year, etc., or an online filing system with similar labels. Revisit your paperwork regularly to keep things up to date. Now, keeping up with documentation can be a challenge, even for the most diligent families, and even with the most organized systems. For financial planning purposes, we can help you set up a personalized legal document plan to help you stay on top of your planning needs. Contact us for more information or for any assistance with your estate planning needs. Thank you for watching. I'm Kelly Longtin from Kelly Longtin Law.